என்னுடைய ஆதங்கத்தை வேண்டிக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன். அது என்ன ஆதங்கன்றது இப்போ தெரியாது உங்களுக்கு. என்னுடைய தலைவர் கலைஞரனுடைய உண்மையான விசுவாசமுள்ள உடன்பிறப்புகள்லாம் என் பக்கம்தான் இருக்காங்க. தமிழ்நாட்டில் உள்ள அத்தனை விசுவாசிகளும் என்னுடைய பக்கம் இருக்கிறார்கள், என்னை ஆதரித்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். ஆகவே இதற்கு காலம் பின்னால் பதில் சொல்லும் என்பதை இப்போது நான் இதோடு முடித்துக் கொள்கிறேன்.
கட்சி தொடர்பானதா அல்லது குடும்பம் தொடர்பானதா?
கட்சி தொடர்பானதுதான்.
நடைபெற இருக்கிற செயற்குழு, நாளைக்கு நடைபெற இருக்கிற தலைமை செயற்குழு,
அதை பத்தி எனக்கு ஒன்றும் தெரியாது. நான் செயற்குழு பத்திலாம் என்கிட்ட கேட்காதீங்க. நான் இப்ப திமுக இல்லை, அதனால நான் செயற்குழு பத்திலாம் கேட்காதீங்க.
மீண்டும் இணைவதற்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கா திமுகவில்?
அதை பத்தி எனக்கு தெரியாது. அந்த ஆதங்கத்தை கலைஞர்கிட்ட சொல்லியிருக்கேன். நான் எங்க அப்பா கிட்ட என்னுடைய ஆதங்கத்தை வேண்டிக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன். அது என்ன ஆதங்கன்றது இப்ப தெரியாது உங்களுக்கு. என்னுடைய தலைவர் கலைஞரனுடைய உண்மையான விசுவாசமுள்ள உடன்பிறப்புகள்லாம் என் பக்கம்தான் இருக்காங்க. தமிழ்நாட்டில் உள்ள அத்தனை விசுவாசிகளும் என்னுடைய பக்கம் இருக்கிறார்கள், என்னை ஆதரித்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். ஆகவே இதற்கு காலம் பின்னால் பதில் சொல்லும் என்பதை இப்போது நான் இதோடு முடித்துக் கொள்கிறேன்.
கட்சி தொடர்பானதா அல்லது குடும்பம் தொடர்பானதா?
கட்சி தொடர்பானதுதான்.
நடைபெற இருக்கிற செயற்குழு, நாளைக்கு நடைபெற இருக்கிற தலைமை செயற்குழு, அதை
பத்தி எனக்கு ஒன்றும் தெரியாது. நான் செயற்குழு பத்திலாம் என்கிட்ட கேட்காதீங்க. நான் இப்ப திமுக இல்லை, அதனால அதை பத்தி எனக்கு தெரியாது. அந்த ஆதங்கத்தை கலைஞர்கிட்ட சொல்லியிருக்கேன்.
கலைஞரின் நினைவிடத்தில் அஞ்சலி.
All right, so you're just looking at those live images coming in from the marina, and that is Kalaignar at the memorial of Karunanidhi. And Akshita has been translating what we are hearing from Kalaignar. And Akshita, is this a succession war already breaking out? Tomorrow is that DMK's all-crucial working committee meeting. What did Kalaignar have to say?
What MK Kalaignar has said at this point, Deepthi, in fact, visiting Karunanidhi's memorial, what you're seeing now is Stalin's brother coming out and saying that the cadre of the DMK support me, that the people of Tamil Nadu also back me. This was something that was expected, and while you think that, MK Stalin is the obvious heir, considering that Karunanidhi had clearly propped him up and trained him to be the next DMK chief, you've got MK Kalaignar now stating otherwise, saying, no, not just am I pained by what's happening in the DMK, but also that Karunanidhi wanted me to continue in politics, that Karunanidhi saw me as the leader. So very interesting developments taking place, and also the timing of this is very crucial, Deepthi, because tomorrow is when we're seeing a DMK huddle also taking place, and in this particular meet, it's expected that MK Stalin will be elevated to be made the DMK president. He is currently the DMK working president after Karunanidhi's demise. And that is very, very crucial statement. It's also important to note here the developments that have taken place. Karunanidhi had in fact expelled Kalaignar from the DMK. Kalaignar had then moved to Madurai, where he's also known to have a very, very strong base as well. While he does have crucial support there, while he does have a lot of support in Madurai, we have to wait and watch to see that really translates into anything. But for now, very similar to the script that played out in the AIA DMK after Lita's demise, we're seeing here a tussle for power within the DMK. Kalaignar is not part of the DMK, so how really will he try to take this forward? Because he is saying that the support is with him, that the DMK cadre are also with him. So very important developments take place. But while this has happened, there's no doubt tomorrow, as expected, the DMK meet will take place, and possibly MK Stalin will be made DMK president. But having said that, will Kalaignar manage to, claw his way through, get some support from the people, pull out some DMK cadre, a big chunk of the DMK cadre? The DMK supporter is, of course, a question. But at this point, it's clear that there is a revolt taking place. MK Kalaignar, who was expelled from the DMK, who moved to Madurai, who has a very strong base also in Madurai, has now come out to say that Kalaignar actually wanted me to lead, that I do have the support of the people of Tamil Nadu, I do have the support of the cadre of the DMK, and what's happening in the party is unfortunate. And you see already he's been invoking his father's name time and again in that speech as well. Not just did he make this at the memorial, the makeshift memorial of Kalaignar, he's also said clearly at this point that yes, I will ensure that we do something about this. We don't know how to take things forward, but time will tell what really happens. He said that he feels it's unfortunate what's playing out in the DMK right now. So days after Kalaignar's demise, already you're seeing an all-out fight for power, with Aragiri speaking out and making it clear that he's not going to just, creep away into the shadows, but he's going to try and gain control at this point.
And Akshita, I'm not sure if that guess would even work, but hazarding that, is this him also perhaps trying to flex his muscle to perhaps push the entire clamor for his reinduction also into the DMK?
Well, it's highly unlikely, Deepthi, that MK Stalin would really allow Aragiri to be brought in. And there's no doubt that as far as sentiments, as far as props and optics are concerned, it's on MK Stalin's side, because we've had Karunanidhi very vocally and publicly also speak in favor of MK Stalin as the obvious heir to him. In several interviews, he said that if something happens to me, it's MK Stalin who is going to take the charge. And also the fact that it was Karunanidhi himself who, ousted Aragiri so publicly from his party. And this was when Aragiri had dared to challenge MK Stalin. So, as far as the message being sent across of who Kalaignar thought was his heir, that is very, very clear. So, for the fact that Aragiri today is coming out and saying that Kalaignar wanted me to be in politics, wanted me to take the lead, there will be several question marks on that front. So, if MK Stalin doesn't reinduct, or for that matter, doesn't act at all to bring Aragiri back into the party fold, it will be considered very much normal. And on the other hand, if he does reinduct Aragiri, there will be questions asked as to why really Karunanidhi had taken any sort of action against him. And it's very unlikely, considering that the brothers are rivals, political rivals at the end of the day. While you did see that family unity, during the last rites of Kalaignar, Dr. Karunanidhi, over the last 2 days after his demise, it's clear now that the fight is out, and you can see that Aragiri has decided to take it head on. While, he can't really have a say in what's going to happen in the party. He can't really have a say on the DMK meet that takes place today, or whether MK Stalin will be made the DMK president. It's clear that he's going to fight from the side, and he's going to try and pull out as much of the support for the DMK. Whether he'll start a new party or not is something that will be questioned, but it looks likely that he will be reinducted really into the DMK.
But how much of a threat is this actually, Akshita, playing out just 24 hours before that entire meet that happens tomorrow?
The timing is so very, very crucial here. It's just been a few days since Kalaignar's demise, and already you're seeing this kind of ugly family politics playing out in full public view. But you know why Aragiri has spoken out today. It's because tomorrow that meet is taking place, and while what he said will not sway any decisions really against MK Stalin, it's clear that he is declaring war here. It's clear that he's showing his opposition to the move, and the fact that he's against MK Stalin taking over as the DMK president. But also having said that, to your question of how potentially dangerous this is for the DMK or for MK Stalin's leadership, we have to keep in mind that Aragiri, after he was expelled from the party, moved to Madurai, and when he was there, he did manage to get some sizable support. He's very, very influential there, has of Madurai. But does that translate to Pan Tamil Nadu? Pan state is something that, of course, will be left to a lot of discussion, and we have to see if Aragiri can actually take that forward. But at this point, there is no doubt that he is someone who does have considerable influence. And also what we have to keep in mind is that he is very much a part of the family. Whether they had their political differences or not, or whether they're rivals, whether he was expelled from the DMK, that doesn't mean that, he's not MK Stalin's brother or Kalaignar's son. So in that form, he could possibly claim stake. He could possibly take forward his political career, or, even reignite his political career by going ahead and mentioning this, as he said, that he believes Kalaignar wanted him to be the leader.
Okay. All right, Akshita, just allow me 30 seconds, because I also want to get in Suman C. Raman, who keenly tracks and observes what happens in Tamil Nadu vis-a-vis the politics. Sumant, how do you read Araigiri at Karuna's grave this morning, 24 hours before the DMK meet, and he says all the true DMK cadres are with me?
No, I think it's very clear. In fact, I had put out a tweet on this 2 days ago when I was actually roundly criticized by people saying that I was, spreading rumors. But this was news. This was in the works for the last 4-5 days. After Kalaignar passed away, it was when people were waiting to see whether. Mr. Arigiri would throw his hat into the ring. Right now, it's very clear. He says that all true Kalaignar loyalists are with him. I mean, there can be no clearer indication of his political ambitions now. So this is going to create problems for the DMK, no doubt about it.
So, how much of a threat, Sumant, is Araigiri, considering that he's expelled from the DMK right now to an MK Stalin?
Look, the point is the party, as of now, as of this minute, is overwhelmingly with Mr. Stalin. I don't see there any issues on that. Now, the question is, that was before people got to know that Mr. Arigiri was actually interested in coming back into politics. Now what happens? Now that he's back, or he's sort of, for all practical purposes, announced his intentions, what happens now? Will people still stick with Mr. Stalin? Will some of them move across? And, it opens up a lot of possibilities. But clearly, he's going to remain, at least Mr. Arigiri is going to remain in the fray for a while. The longer he does that, it's be a bigger issue for the... Right now, he's not in the DMK officially.
Okay, and Sumant, before I let you go, I'm not sure if I heard that right, but Araigiri here claims the support of the true DMK cadres, and he says Stalin is just a non-working president. Now, could there be any indication that Stalin might be wanting to get him back into the DMK? Could this be Araigiri just flexing his muscles, or the two brothers just cannot patch up, Sumant?
Look, logically, Mr. Stalin needs to hold his ground. Now, if he yields now and, gives the party post, takes him back in the party, then it's going to be a long-term problem for him to face, because clearly the brothers haven't got along. Mr. Arigiri has been extremely critical of Mr. Stalin, and he said the DMK will not win elections with Stalin as the leader. He's actually said that multiple times. So, it's going to be very difficult for them to patch up. But Mr. Stalin is clearly having the upper hand at the moment, and he's got to hold firm. Now, if he yields now, he will be creating a huge problem for himself long term.